Vagina na vagina. Person with the carry am ain't different. The woman with the carry am, she fit get big bum, small bum. The woman with the carry am fit get big breast, small breast. If a woman is really enjoying sex, tiredness is the least of what actually makes her sick. Because women are actually stronger. Women can do, women can actually do the house chores and still knock their husbands well in the night if she's really interested. I've seen it happen.
In the night.
My wife knows my poisons. She knows sins that easily beset me as a young man. She knows there are certain people that if we are here now and she sees, she knows that this is my husband's poison. I know this is my poison, so I know how to avoid such things. So that's another thing men have to learn about cheating. Sometimes it's not that men set out to cheat, but they have not known their poisons. So they fall easily for their poisons because they've not recognized it. There are certain people I don't talk to. Not because they are bad people, but I know that if I speak with this person too much, sure for me, say I go there, alright. So we're talking about infidelity in marriage, and I've always said it that vagina na vagina. Person with the carry am ain't different. The woman with the carry am, she fit get big bum, small bum. The woman with the carry am fit get big breast, small breast. Whatever it is, vagina is vagina. The mucosa is the same. What did they teach us in med school then? It is non-keratinized squamous epithelium. Exactly. So it's non-keratinized. It's sweet.
It's the same
thing, but it's the same thing essentially. But the only thing I feel is a feeling. I'm not saying this is medical. My wife will talk about the medical side of things shortly. Like what I feel as a young man is that vagina is the same thing. The carrier can be different. The shape of the carrier can be different. Packaging can be different.
It's definitely different.
Yeah. Yes. So talk about the medical side first, and I'll mention some other things.
Okay. Yeah. So medically, like he said, is the same, but like how everybody is made, like there's some differences,
slight differences anatomically.
Yeah. So if it's that lie that they sell that this person's this thing is tighter than this person's zone is sweeter than this person, is not tighter.
Absolutely true.
Sweeter, I'm coming to that, but it's not tighter. Everybody's is the same. A woman can give birth to a baby's head that is like this big, and it will go back. The vagina is designed to go back,
elastic.
To be elastic, to expand and go back to how it was. So a woman's vagina is not tight because she has had children or because she has been doing it for a long time,
so the
or because she has had
it
is not tight because that's how her own structure is. But the entrance, everything is the same. It's just basically that, like I said. So now let's get to sweetness. That's why I always talk about that God's way is the best way. How God said we should do it, how we should not, you shouldn't have premarital sex or have sex with someone that you're not married to. It helps a lot, because why you're saying somebody's zone is sweeter is because you have nothing to compare with.
Exactly.
Like you're comparing against yourself. And like I said, sex
so
is
let me chip in something there before you go ahead. See, just to give a clear example, my wife's vagina is the sweetest to me because I've not tasted any other one before. So there's nothing to compare with. And then it's all about the art. How does she wind it around me? Do you understand? That's what makes it sweet. So it is the art that she's trying to explain now. So go ahead and explain. So like somebody who has been, there are babes and there are people that now we call baddies that know how to Instagram
do it,
baddies.
They say that girl, she's that. And people
she's
say
bad.
She's no, I'm not talking about bad. Like people claim that this person can do it, and how she does it is very.
That's what I'm saying. Like she's very
good.
Bad with how she handles men when it comes to sex. That's what you're saying, right?
Let me land.
Yeah, land.
Land. That. Let me lose my line of thought.
Yeah, sorry.
So
line of thought, come back.
Like the woman can do it very well. The difference between that kind of woman and your wife at home who doesn't know much,
who is not bad.
I'm talking about badness now.
Badness,
who doesn't know much.
Badoski, skidoski.
Who doesn't know much, or who is just there, who doesn't make you, transform you. The difference between that girl and your wife is knowledge and skill, and it's an art. Nobody is born with this skill. The way I can prove it to you. The way they say certain people from certain tribes are good in bed. It's not that it's in their blood. If you give birth to somebody in that tribe and the person is taken out and trained in another tribe, that person will not have that thing.
That same
because it's not passed in the blood. It is they train them. Go and check. They have trainings that they give to those girls from small on how to please a man. Like they are born to please
wired
their
to please
men.
a man. Yeah.
Everything about them is wired to please their men. Check out people from that tribe. That's what is infused into them.
Their parents teach them from childhood. They even go as far as teaching them even about cooking, even beyond sex.
Yeah, that's why I said please. I didn't even say like not just sexually, please the man, in entirety. So it is skill, learn the art. So cheating is to me, it's a gap.
Yeah, a lack of knowledge issue.
That's what causes people to cheat. Because if it is, and then there's another aspect. I mean, some people cheat not because, I mean, some men do it and they'll tell you like, oh, it wasn't about just the sex. It was the experience.
That's exactly what I wanted to now talk about. The experience. So
the woman listens to him. The woman knows how to, make him feel
let me even talk
loved
about it as a man.
wanted.
Let me talk about it as a man. So now, a man sometimes cheats not because he really wanted the sex, but he wants something that more often than not will lead to sex. They say men don't want attention, there is women that want attention. That thing is not true. Men want attention too. Men want to be reverenced. Men want to be honored. Any man that is getting honor and reverence from a woman outside most likely is going to sleep with that woman if he is not putting guards in place.
People are doing that. Say the woman does not even have a say.
But it's not about that. It's about the fact that
if the woman wants to sleep with him.
No, now see the way it works is this. More often than not, it is not that anybody planned to cheat. Actually, some cheating issues actually did not start with. No, it's a little sleep. That's what the Bible says. A little sleep, a little slumber.
So you didn't plan to, but
you didn't plan to. But there are certain things that exactly the discussion we're having, like boundaries or things you should put in place, right? So a man can be innocently honored by a woman, and he actually takes it seriously. Like, wow, every time I'm around this woman, every time I'm around this woman, she makes me feel like a real man. She honors me,
makes me feel
treats
wanted.
me like a king, makes me feel wanted. So that idea that a woman is one that feels wanted alone or wants attention is not true. Both parties want attention.
So you like attention?
Do you understand? Have you not been giving me attention?
I have a question.
I beg. You understand? So you have to understand that a man wants attention too. A man wants to be honored, reverenced, treated as a king, treated as someone who is important. So a man who comes to his wife often to say, oh, let's talk or let's have sex, and she says no, and there is no other way she is compensating for that, maybe beyond the bedroom, to treat him as a king and treat him as her man, there will be a problem. Right? So now a man okay, you want to pause? Okay. Do you want to pause and then we'll come back?
Go on.
All right, good. So now, a man who is having a kind of problem in his house now has somebody at work who praises him for all the mails he sends. So how wonderful you send your mails. Or praises him for his reports, or how great your reports are, or praises him for being a very good boss. And the praises can be genuinely innocent at the beginning. The man begins to feel appreciated more at work than at home. You see, all those things are things that actually set a man up for failure in terms of cheating if he doesn't put guards in place. If you feel a lot more appreciated at work than at home, you have to communicate. It's a knowledge problem. You have to communicate with your wife. You have to let your wife know that, see, when they say these things to me at the office, this is how I feel. It makes me feel in a particular way. And that's where vulnerability comes in, because that's the problem with some marriages. People don't come around being vulnerable because they feel their wife is going to judge them, to say, oh, why? How can you even be thinking about something like that when a lady is just innocently praising you at the office? But the truth is, as a man, if you are being praised, as a human being, if you are being praised, men woo women by praising them technically. Oh, I like your shape. I like how you look.
It depends.
I like how you talk. I like how you relate. But I'm talking about on the average now. Girls get attention from men in that regard. When they say attention, what is happening is the man is actually showing them the side of them that he really, really likes.
Hey,
do you understand?
Saying like, oh, I like your shape. I like your this. I like your that. It can be.
You see, it's you that such things might not catch. But there are plenty girls out there that they wait for a man to tell them that, and they are off their feet. Do you understand?
I think we should even do better.
But I'm talking about on the average. Do you understand? So
I'm saying like everybody likes to hear good things.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Like, oh, a woman likes to hear like, oh, things I like about you. Like, I like your shape. I look at my shape.
Oh, sister, out of 10 girls that they toast, how many do they tell them anything outside
Where
how they
Where
look?
are you finding the 10 girls from?
I'm just saying, on the average 10 girls. What are you talking about? Please, let's be serious, Joe. See, so you get, like, a man needs that attention, needs that praise. If you're vulnerable enough at home as a young man, you can actually tell your spouse, oh, I get praises from these quarters, and I wish you could do it for me too.
Yeah,
do you understand? I when I get those praises, it actually makes me feel, they make me feel appreciated, make me feel loved, make me feel wanted as a king.
Sorry,
all right, go ahead, please.
There are many things that's why vulnerability in marriage, I mean, it can't be overemphasized, because there are many things that, and if you understand that there are many things that as humans we don't even know about ourselves yet, then you would allow, you would be gracious, like you would give grace in allowing your spouse to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
there are some certain things and certain chords that somebody can hit
in your life
outside that you've never felt before, and so it is not you being covetous or you not being content with what you have at home that is making you realize that. I mean, there's some things that somebody will say to you that you probably have never heard in your life and has never stimulated that part of you before, and then the wisdom and the grace and the beauty that and the covering that marriage should give is you being vulnerable enough to say,
let me even say a story. Go ahead, finish. I'll say a story now.
Hit this to me and I felt this way, and then the wisdom in your spouse is okay.
No, if that happened, that means that my wife can do it for me. Exactly.
Let's do it more.
That's what it means to be naked and not ashamed. So you're not ashamed to tell your wife, okay, there was one movie we watched. There are two stories that I was going to give. There was one movie we watched. I've forgotten the name. I think it's Tyler Perry's Temptation or something. Okay. That the woman came home and a man was actually teasing her at work. And she came home and pinned her husband to the wall. And the man was like, what's going on? Like, no, we normally do it. We first we're going to have our bath. We'll put off the lights. And she's like, see, do me rough, yeah. And then the guy is like, what's wrong with you? He lost her. So that same man who was teasing her at the office, she did not want to be tempted, but she got tempted, and then she fell for it. All right. So now this is where I'm going. You see, there's another story I had of a man. My boss at work back then told me that story. It was an usher in church. If I mention the name of the church, you know, so I won't mention the name of the church. It's a Pentecostal church in Lagos. It was an usher, very devoted. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was an usher in church. It was very devoted. But one or the other, just these things we're talking about. You want to touch madam will say she's tired. Want to touch her, she'll say she's been working all day. Validly tired.
But these are
maybe they just had a child or something. Yeah. Or there's always a valid reason why a woman should be tired. You understand?
But I'm tired.
We'll talk about that. Maybe that's another thing. Like, how do you manage your sexuality in your marriage? We'll talk about it. Maybe that'll be our next video. But like, she's always tired. And then you got to the point, the guy was frustrated. Reported to marriage committee in church. This woman is always tired. Oh, you know those things they say, oh, maybe you're not helping her with chores, maybe you're not doing this, you're not doing that for her, help her. And you know, that's like the kind of normal things people say in counseling. But see, if you really want to do serious counseling, when a woman is turning a man down, I do not think, from all the data we have now, I do not think it's just all about being tired from chores. There are underlying issues. She herself might not even know that until she sits down with a psychologist, they'll begin to unearth it.
Yes.
It could be that she had been raped before, and so she had very bad psychology about sex. It could be that there's resentment. Her husband has done something really terrible and she doesn't really flow with this guy anymore. It could be a million and one things.
If a woman is
really enjoying sex, tiredness is the least of what actually makes her sick. Because women are actually stronger. Women can actually do all the house chores and still knock their husbands well in the night if she's really interested. I've seen it happen.
In the night. Where do you see it?
Boy, it happens now. It happened to us. Shady one yourself. Let's stop there. All right, so let's get serious now. Okay, let's get serious now. So summarily, this guy, after a while, he was frustrated. They went for counseling. He did everything they asked him to do, but she still was not flowing. Guess what? One random girl from one part of Nigeria that people say are very good with sex just grabbed this guy one day in the office, gave him a head, and that was it. I am not joking. And the person that told me the story cannot tell lies. I just cannot call his name here because he was actively involved in the church at that time. And he told me, and I quote, that this guy stopped going home. He started. He stopped going home.
I wanted to look for trouble.
He stopped going home. He started having sex with this girl in the office regularly, and he started sleeping outside. In summary, he goes home just seldom. The girl literally took him out of church.
She showed him
a side of his life when it comes to sex that he has never seen before, and he just could not understand why that has been kept away from him on the altar of marriage. So he was frustrated, and he left the marriage. They begged him till thy kingdom come. He said he's not doing it again. Now you can fault him, you can judge him. He didn't do right. Do you understand? But we're talking about how to put boundaries in place to stop such things from happening to your own marriage, right? There's just my wife said, there are certain things that you do not even know existed in your life. There are some part of your brain that has not been stimulated before. That if one woman touch you in a particular way,
I'm like,
you are like, so this part of my brain, they function like this, and I did not know. That is not the reason to go and cheat. The next thing to do is to be vulnerable enough and talk to your wife about it. My wife knows my poisons. She knows sins that easily beset me as a young man. She knows there are certain people that if we are here now and she sees, she knows that this is my husband's poison. I know this is my poison, so I know how to avoid such things. So that's another thing men have to learn about cheating. Sometimes it's not that men set out to cheat, but they have not known their poisons. So they fall easily for their poisons because they've not recognized it. There are certain people I don't talk to, not because they are bad people, but I know that if I speak with this person too much, sure for me, say I go do all right. I am being sincere. I mean, this is vulnerability now, and the truth is, I know a lot of people cannot come out to say this kind of stuff, but it's a reality. There is nobody, I repeat, there is nobody that cannot fall for sexual sins. If you let down your guard, if you open your windows, flies will perch, they will come in. If you open your door, animals will come in. Snake will sleep, a little slumber, a little I'm a strong man. It doesn't matter, I cannot fall.
It's not just for men, no.
And it's not just for men, even women too. But we're talking about cheating and men in this context. So you can't say you are so strong and then you can't fall, and so you begin to misbehave. You don't do certain things with young women out there, or even old women, whoever they are, maybe chatting till late in the night, talking on phone with them for long. Some people even are married and they'll still be going on a date with somebody else, and they say, there's nothing happening, nothing. That means a friendly
or
date.
Having an opposite sex best friend.
Opposite sex best friend, that is not your wife.
Both of your
even if it's your wife's best friend, the best friend should have limits. Do you understand? Like, I always tell my wife something. It doesn't take time for one to enter zero. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't take time. We'll say it as it is. It doesn't take time for penis to enter vagina. Once everybody has lost guard, it doesn't take time for sex to happen. It doesn't. Why a man will have sex with his wife inside car or anywhere is because the guards are down. There's no inhibition. There's no restriction in his mind. All his gateways are open. The woman's gateways are open. So having sex anywhere doesn't really matter to them because there is no inhibition. So for any person who is not your spouse, there must be inhibition. There must be gateways that you have closed and you are not going to open for any reason, no matter how harmless you think it is. Very important. We have to round off now. So, do you want to say more things?
No, sir.
It's been nice gisting about this, babe. We've been gisting before we started recording. We just said, let's just record this and just bless you guys. We hope this blessed you guys. Reach out to us if you have questions at ADEYEMI-LEVITES on Instagram, at Nifemi_Adeyemi on Instagram. On Facebook, ADEYEMI-LEVITES. She doesn't have a Facebook account. She's OG. And then you can send us a mail too. Yeah, say it now.
No. About Facebook, but we use the against me. So.
Please don't say it. Please. All right. So catch you guys more.
Stay safe. Stay vulnerable with your spouse. With the right person. I know that marriage is sweet. And you can actually enjoy sex with your spouse alone, and it's very possible to not cheat. For your spouse to give you the
this is our 8th year. We're running our 7+ years right now.
It's possible for your spouse to give you the best sex.
And we've known each other for 10 years plus now, thereabouts. And we've been there more than 10 years now. And I've never cheated on you. That's beautiful. And you've never cheated on me, right?
I've never cheated.
Can we do something in this car?
I don't get. Do you know where we are?
Oh glory.
Where
Yeah, we will just cover everywhere. Oh glory. Oh glory.
we'll cover the Oka.
Have a good day. God bless you.
Bye, guys.